welcome everybody to the city of New Westminster and the banks of the Fraser. I don't know if many of you may know that New Westminster has had a long history, along with First Nations here, as the first city in Western Canada. So I want to introduce a few people. My name is Dawn Black. I'm the MLA for New Westminster and a colleague with Finn. I want to introduce a few people who are with us today who are very special, and we're very proud to have them with us with this wonderful day of paddling down the Fraser River and the excursion that many of you are going on. So first of all, I would like to introduce Chief Peters from, I can't read this writing.
Chihuahua First Nation.
Chihuahua First Nations, thank you very much. And also Chief Marilyn Baptiste. I spoke to Marilyn a few minutes ago. Welcome, Chief Baptiste from the Hani-Watian Nation. And Grand Chief Stuart Phillips. Welcome to New Westminster from the Union of BC, Union of Indian Chiefs. We also have Alexandra Morton. Very proud to have Alexandra Morton here with us from Salmon Are Sacred. And welcome her to the city. And of course, my colleague and friend Finn Donnelly, who's the Member of Parliament for New Westminster, Coquitlam and Port Moody. Also joining us on the paddle, been paddling down to this part of the Fraser River, is my colleague from the legislature in British Columbia, Michael Sather, and my colleague also from the legislature in British Columbia, Spencer Herbert Chandra. Chandra Herbert, yes, sorry. So welcome to all of you, and this is, I want to give my thanks to all of you who are working so hard to ensure that the salmon and the wild salmon in British Columbia are protected and are safe for future generations. It's very important what each of you are doing, and the people of New Westminster certainly support you and want to see you be successful. Mention one little thing, that while you're here, I would invite you to have a look at one of the programs that's taken place here at the Fraser River Discovery Center, and that is the building of a very early replica of an early boat that was used on the Fraser by First Nations and by early settlers to bring salmon, bountiful salmon in those days from this river. And it's called the Salmon Catcher, and the person who undertook that building of that wooden boat is Rob Butler, who's there from Douglas College. So welcome to Rob too. So without further ado, I would like to turn the mic over to Finn Donnelly, who's going to say a few words, and then to Alexandra Morton. So thank you very much for joining us here today.
Thank you very much, Dawn. It is indeed a pleasure to be here in the Fraser River Discovery Center. I think a very fitting place to welcome all of you on your journey today. I imagine that many of you have had quite a paddle. Some have been paddling since Hope down, and some have joined just today. And others will be joining here to go beyond to Vancouver. And it's an amazing journey what you're doing, and a message that you're bringing down the river to the people of this province, to the people of this country, to those that need to hear the message that we need to save our wild salmon. I have also had a journey in the past, as many may know. In 1995, I swam the length of this river, 1,400 kilometers, starting from the headwaters and traveling right down. So I know a little bit about getting intimate with the Fraser River, and know a little bit about what you've experienced today on your paddle, going from, I believe, from Catesy this morning to here. And it's an incredible river, a diverse river, a resilient river with so many peoples, as the First Nation people have experienced for thousands of years living along this mighty river system. But we also know that, and I know as from swimming the length of it in 1995, that the river needs attention, that there are areas where there are huge troubles and problems, and not only in the river, but just outside the river as well. In fact, in 1990, I got my start swimming across Georgia Strait, the home of the salmon. And we know that, the Georgia Strait is not only the home of salmon, but it is the home of salmon farms. And this has been causing a problem for many years, specifically with the sea lice that has affected our wild salmon. And I know that many people are paddling to draw attention to this issue and draw attention to the fact that the Cohen inquiry is happening right now and that we'll be publishing its midterm report on Monday. And we hope that people get to, or the inquiry is able to get to the bottom of why the 2009 collapse of the Fraser River sockeye salmon happened. We need to continue to put pressure on the federal government to change their ways, to put the resources needed to address this issue. And one of the things that I've done as a new member of Parliament has introduced a private member's bill, a wild salmon protection bill, that calls for fish farms to move from the current system, which is open net, which allows all the fish feces, the fish food, and the sea lice to go right from their operation into the ocean. And that affects our wild salmon smolts that swim from this mighty river out into the ocean and return again to spawn. And that has impacted them, as many scientists have pointed out over the years, and as Alexandra has done in her work to draw attention to this fact. We know that this is an issue, we know this is a problem, so I have drawn and introduced a wild salmon protection bill that calls for to move to closed containment. And I would ask that each of you paddlers that haven't signed this postcard that we've got here, to please sign this postcard, to lend your support, because right now I'm pleased to say that we have over 5,000 people that have already lent their name to the move to closed containment, to asking the federal government. And that's only a small piece, because I know that Alex Morton, I know that many First Nations have been making this call for a number of years, and they want to see this happen. So please, 5,000 is a good start, but I know there's many more Canadians that want to support this, and we're just getting started. I'm going to close by saying that one thing that's going to be happening very soon is that the Conservative government is going to introduce a new Fisheries Act in the coming weeks. So this is an opportunity. We have an opportunity right here on Monday to send a message to the Cohen inquiry that we need to protect our wild salmon. And we have another opportunity with the introduction of the Fisheries Act to say we need to move to closed containment. We need more resources for the department to manage the fishery. We need to address this wild salmon. We need to move to watershed-based protection. We need to protect our wild salmon, its habitat. There are so many things that we need addressing, and they need to come out and be pointed directly at the Fisheries Act. And all of you can play a role in sending a message to the government to strengthen, not water down, our Fisheries Act, which is one of the strongest pieces of legislation in this country. So I wish you well on your paddle. In fact, I'm looking forward to joining you on this leg to Musqueam today. I know that this is a history-making event, and that we're sending a strong message to people of British Columbia, to people of Canada. So continue on your journey. Thank you very much for making that tremendous sacrifice by making this paddle. And I'm going to turn it over to Alexandra Morton to say a few words in terms of, from her perspective, on this issue and this paddle. Alex.
Thank